Hi, everybody. Welcome to 2022. My goodness, I'm so excited to be here. We are starting out the year with a very, very different way of doing things, and we hope you love it. I'm going to be doing monthly Astro Oracle readings. Yesterday, you would have seen our monthly energy report for the month using the Shaman's Dream Oracle. I'm going to use the same deck for this reading. And I also want to invite you to something super special. We are going to be doing our Vision Board Challenge this month. What's the date of that, Mark? Oh, there's a link. Yeah. There's a link. I have so many things going on, I can't remember dates anymore. But anyway, it's going to be so fantastic. And if you watch yesterday's energy report, you're going to want to do the Vision Board Challenge this year with us, because it's really going to help you set the stage for the rest of the year. Okay, so now we are going to be looking at each of the zodiac signs for the month. So what you're going to do is, there's really 9 cards for you for the month if you have 3 different signs of your sun sign, your rising or ascendant, and your moon. If you're a triple Scorpio, for example, you're only going to look at the Scorpio reading and you're just going to know it's intense. If you have maybe Aries, Cancer, that's a combination. Then you'll just do the 2, Aries and Cancer. So you'll have 6 cards. But the bottom line is that you're going to be reading first your sun sign, then you're going to see how it flows into the 3 cards of your ascendant, and then your moon. And that's kind of how we do it. And those 9 cards are your personal monthly reading, okay? Now, I've tested it at the end of last year, and it really was accurate. That's why we switched to the monthly, because they're really, really accurate. Okay, and so many of you preferred the monthly readings. Okay, let's do this. So Aries, this is for you for the month of January 2022. Okay, this is great. You are really jumping out the door in a really positive way, Aries. You are all about opportunities this month. Yay. I know my husband's dancing. He is an Aries. And it impacts me too, which is good. This is my favorite card in the deck, this Caterpillar. So this is all about opportunities that come generated by you, but also come in service to others. Why do I say in service to others for the Aries personality? Because connectivity, or the jeweled web, which was the functional card for the energy of the month of January, that flanks this card. So it's always about service for the Aries personality this January. And confidence in your magic. I've never known my husband to be, actually that's true, right, Mark? I mean, you are the most confident man I know. And humble too, so I really got a winner. But anyway, so it is really true that you are responsible and accountable for the magic that you bring. And this is a really fabulous stepping in this month for Aries. Wow, it's awesome. Okay, now let's take a look at Taurus. So, and Aries is the fire sign. Taurus is Earth. We're moving into Taurus next. Okay, so let's do... I'm feeling it. I'm really loving this new format. Okay, so this is also Feast of Plenty, gathering around and deep quiet. So here's what we have for Taurus. Choices and their consequences. But this is a cornucopia of possibilities for you. So for the Taurus, you're going to feel like you have a lot of options for January. You just do. The only thing is that you want to be conscious of the choices that you make. You want to be conscious and mindful. And why do I know that's true? Because you have meditation and stillness here. It is a month where you are going to want to replenish yourself a lot. Meditation, you're going to add that to your daily living practice, etc. And you're not doing this alone. So this is the power of community for Taurus. And this is a sense of feeling that because you can be calm and still, you're around people that elicit that from you. So this is also part of choosing those kind of people to associate with this month, and more of them, less of the other. Okay, so this is good. And the consequence of who you hang out with. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who didn't watch yesterday's reading when I talked about the Shaman's Dream Oracle that I created with Alberto Villaldo, this is based on the shaman archetype, not shamanism. And it really is also a deck that is fantastic to do readings with. It's one of my favorites to actually do readings with. And they're only read upright. So that's the other thing. And we're all dreaming a new world into being, hence why I decided to use Shaman's Dream for January. Okay, here we go. So we are at Gemini now. So Gemini is this is intentionality. Is the first card. Dude, you're having a good month too, Jen. Yeah. Okay. So too many good things for Gemini. So here we go. You need to be very intentional because you have the possibility of getting overwhelmed this month in January. That's for Gemini. Although you are going to be in luck and right timing if you remember not to say yes to too many things. Be very intentional about your yeses. Very important for the month of January for the Geminis that you don't say yes to absolutely everything because it will throw off the ability for you to be present for the right timing of when people need something from you, instead of like you've spread yourself too thin. This is really important for Geminis that you do that. Again, very narrow focus brings you into a broader sense of opportunity to help others, to provide who you are to the world. Remember, we're here always as unique sparks of the divine so that we add to the symphony of life. And you really get a chance to do that this month, Gemini. Yay. Okay. Now let's take a look at Cancers. Wow. One thing about these, they're easy to shuffle, but not easy to do that kind of poker shuffle I like to do. Okay, so this is for Cancer. Me, mindful. All right, let's see. Connectivity. Beautiful, confidence in your magic. So what I like about this is that mindful is about group think, but it's about what does the collective need? And what are you tuning into in the collective? And because it's flanked by the Magician's Sword and the Jeweled Web, this is a very positive thing. If it was flanked, for example, by Me Talks or by the Dust Devil or some of the other more challenging cards, it would be saying that you've got to watch your conditioning, but it's not saying that. So what it's saying is that you're tuning into the zeitgeist. Good for me because I'm putting on a vision board challenge this month, which is great. And it is about the sense of being connected to others and feeling that you have purpose with others and that you can be confident in your magic, Cancerians, this month, that you are a cardinal sign, a water sign, but you can trust in yourself that your values are very important and that you can express who you are in a really authentic way. So that's excellent for Cancers. Yay. So far, these are very nice. Now let's see Leo. And that, remember, if you have Leo sun sign, Leo rising, or Leo moon, these are the cards that are going to be important to you. So let's take a look and see if the Leo. Okay, so Leo, inspiration. Wow, this is like very creative month, right? And diving into a task and Jeweled Web again. So far, so good. So for the month of January, any kind of creative project that you want to start or complete, that is very important. So if you look at yesterday's reading for the whole month, which was less exciting and a little bit more challenging, it does remind everybody that we're putting things in completion, right? That's a big theme of January. So I would say that whatever you started that you were inspired to do last year, or that Leos, that you're completing, this is the perfect time to do it. And if you are starting something new, don't do anything on the surface. No fluffy bunny stuff for you. This is about going deep. This is about diving into a task and trusting that, and you don't do it by yourself either, that you have help. Jeweled Web, again, is there for you. And that was a theme for this month. Okay, here we go. So this is for Virgos. Okay. Spirit of the River, movement toward adventure, straddling between realms and benevolence. So this is very nice too. Movement toward adventure for the Virgo personality is having the courage to make changes. You might be a little bit more thoughtful about your choices and sacred, and there's a sense of perfectionism there, but you have to be more generous and graceful with yourself because this is the card that flanks this. So you can trust in the spirit of adventure. You can just throw yourself into something new and trust that, I'm going to discover things. So curiosity will be your superpower this month. And traveling between worlds means that you're exploring, right? So this is an explorer's card. It's a card that says, I don't really know the form of this yet, but I'm going to explore it and be curious. And I'm going to trust that I'm in process, right? That I'm not going to land on anything very specific necessarily. in the month of January, but I'm sure going to get good ideas. All right, now let's look at Libra. I'm going to shuffle it this way. This is a lot easier. And Libra. Okay, so, whoopsie. Libra, Feast of Plenty. So again, choices and their consequences. Let's see what that means. Intentionality, this is good. And let's see on the other side. Empty well, time to replenish. Okay, don't spread yourself too thin. So this is being very intentional. I would say even more so, it was a little similar to Gemini, and it's also an air sign, interestingly enough, with the intentionality, and you don't want to get all overwhelmed and exhausted, because this is saying you need time to replenish. So for Libra, this is your consequences of holding back are going to be very beneficial for you to get your intention very well honed this month. Libras should all come to my vision board challenge. Again, replenishing of your ideas, how else could I be thinking? What else could I be choosing? These kind of questions that you might be asking yourself in January are actually really good, and trusting that you have lots of choices. Be very intentional about which ones you're going to choose. All right. Here we go. I know it's true. It's so true, though. We always enter into a new year right, Mark? Really optimistic and hopeful, etc. And we realize, oh wait, maybe I just.
But my reading was good.
Yeah, your reading was great. So was mine. All righty. So was mine. Okay. Everybody's is good. So now let's look at Scorpio. What's going on with Scorpio? Scorpio is also moving towards an adventure, and you have a contract for that adventure. I think of my friend Aisha. Hi, honey. I know you're watching this. Okay, so this is really interesting. The adventure of reconciliations, right? Of making that contract to clean up the past. And as a result of that, wow, right? There's an adventure waiting for you. There's a sense of liberation as the river starts to support you in this new journey. And it really is about looking back and saying, where have I been uncomfortable with people, and how far have I come? And wow, I don't have to be mad at them anymore, or I can make different choices, or I can reach out and tell them I love them. You know what I mean? So because it's relational, remember, everything is going to have that theme of relationship, given that 2022 is a year in numerology. It's a 6 year, so it's also very interesting. Okay, this is good for Scorpios. Now let's take a look at Sagittarius. So Sag for the month, let's see. Let us see. Okay. So Sag, listening to others, repairing the veil, and limitless possibilities. Here we go. So Sagittarius, there is truth. There is your truth. There is the whole truth. There's other people's truths. There's chosen truths. And this is all about how you're conditioned. So for Sagittarius, this is the month where you are saying, I am going to repair the way I actually see the world. There's a fissure in how I've been looking at things. There's a hole in the lens. I'm going to now take back my thinking. I'm going to forgive myself and others, and I am now going to look into the limitless possibility and get out of my narrow focus of seeking the truth from only one place. So this is about opening up to new possibilities and remembering that all of us have been conditioned a certain way to see the world. And this is about you saying, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to make my own choices, and I'm going to think for myself. That's very important for you this month, Sagittarius. That's where you're going to find your truth. Now let's take a look at Capricorn. Capricorn. Bingo, divine matrix for you. The right use of power and protecting the future. So this is really great. This is about a return to your spirituality. The galactic mushroom. We had so much fun naming these cards. This is the foundation for you stepping into 2022 is trusting the mystical realms and trusting that you have a right relationship with your higher power. That your higher power is not playing games with you, right? And there is not about dominating other people because your way has to be a certain way, or you have like these resentments. This is like saying, you know what, I'm dumping those. This is about, I'm going to surrender to my higher power, And that's how I'm going to protect my future. I'm going to trust in my soul more than my ego. I am going to trust that there's beauty in the world in spite of suffering, in spite of unfairness, in spite of all the things that I thought I saw. This and that can be true too. And so really surrendering that, your ego to spirit is a really beautiful task for Capricorns. And that is how you are claiming not the form, but the essence of a happier future. That's beautiful. Aquarius is next. Let's take a look at Aquarius. All right. Wonderful, Aquarius. Here you come. Okay, intentionality. Isn't that interesting? Groupthink and gestation period. So again, interesting, this groupthink card came up quite a bit for people. So this influences your intentionality. And gestation means you need a timeout. This could be a timeout from the internet. This could be like your intentionality for your well-being is to be mindful of how you are impacted by the collective or any specific group. Now, those things can be very positive, but they can also be very polarizing. So for Aquarius, who can get rigid in their views of things or attached to certain stories, you're also the innovators of the zodiac. So this is about gestating something new for yourself that comes out of the recognition that you've been conditioned to see the world through a certain lens, or that you've chosen a lens and now you're opening to a different lens. And this is being intentional about your well-being. So that's great. I remember when I first started getting sober, because I just turned 36 years clean and sober, January 2nd. Isn't that crazy? 36 years. Wow. One day at a time. But that was how I was really positively impacted by groupthink when I got into 12-step programs back then. And they just saved my life. Really something. So not all groupthink is the kind of conditioning you want that's positive, and not all of it's negative, right? Okay, so here we go. Our Pisces, again, intentionality. Come on, you guys saw that I shuffled really well, right? More Dragon's Hoard protecting the future. I'm going to go here now. Woodwives, adaptability. We got a lot of interesting cards. Okay, so Pisces. Here we go. Again, super intentional. And it makes sense. A lot of people got intentionality for the month of January. That's the month that we always get super intentional. And this is how you protect your future, is to be adaptable to what comes up for you. And again, releasing your tight hold on the way you think things should be, and more tuning into the intentions, the essence, and the experiences that you want to have. And again, I can't help but bring up my vision board challenge again, because that's what that whole thing's about, is about choosing experience over form. There you go. Anyway, Pisces, you have a beautiful month ahead. Remember, adaptability is going to be your superpower. Staying curious, being adaptable, and trusting that as long as you stay intentional about your values, what's important to you, things will be a lot easier for you this month. All right, celebration. Yay. Okay, YouTubers. Hey, if you like the Astro Oracle reading, the energy report for the Astro Oracle, this is going to be every month. If you liked it, share it with your friends. Subscribe. Subscribe and leave a comment. We love to read them. Take care. See you next time. And don't forget my vision board challenge. Somewhere there is a link.